The mobility on your wrists, shoulders and hips is extremely important if you want to do a handstand, and a handstand that actually looks good. Right now you are gonna see 5 proven stretches to fix your handstand fast. And the cool thing is that for every stretch I will give you a mobility test, so that if you pass it you will not even need to stretch, but if you fail it, the stretch will be just for you. Let's start with the wrists. For the first variation of the test, you put your palms and fingers flat on the ground, and if your arms are behind the vertical line, you fail the test. But if your arms are in front of the vertical line, you passed the test. If you failed that test, it will mean that you have some form of muscular inflexibility. And to fix that, you can do this stretch by kneeling on the floor with your palms and fingers flat, and then starting to lean forward and going back. I will do that for 10 reps, and at the end I will stay for at least 10 seconds on your maximum range of motion. For the second variation of the wrist test, notice that your palms are still flat on the ground, but your fingers are now flexed. And again, if your arms are behind the vertical line, you fail the test, but if your arms are in front of the vertical line, you passed the test. If you failed that test, you can fix that by doing the same stretch as before, but changing the position of your fingers so that now are flexed, and adding an elastic band to create a glide on your joints. Now let's look at the shoulders, which is most likely where you will be lacking mobility. For the first shoulder test, you want to lay on the ground, flex your hips, and not arch your back, and then bring your arms overhead. If you cannot get all the range of motion, you will have failed the test. To better assess your weak points, you want to do the same test, but now with your hips open. If you only fail the first test where you have your hips flexed, it will mean that you have tight lats. Then I recommend you to do this lat stretch with a PNF fashion by stretching for 10 seconds and then relaxing for 5 for at least 3 reps. On the other hand, if you failed both tests, it will mean that you have some limitations on the muscles on your scapula, like the rhomboids or teres minor. To address that, I recommend you to do an across the body stretch, but it's important here that you do it while keeping your scapula retracted. A final test for your shoulders is to see if your pecs are flexible or not. Here, you want to bend 90 degrees your elbows and raise them to shoulder level, and then test if you can bring your elbows behind your shoulders. To stretch, here you just need to try to pass the mobility test by bringing your elbows back, and you can do that with a PNF of 10-second hold, 5-second relax for 3 reps. And the final mobility test would be for your hips. Here, you want to lie on an elevated surface that allows you to open your hips while having your knees bent 90 degrees. If you can open your hips but you cannot bend your knee 90 degrees, it means that you have tight rectus femoris. And to fix that, you want to do the couch stretch by maximizing the amount of knee flexion. On the other hand, if you cannot open your hips fully, it means that you have tight iliopsoas. And to fix that, you want to do also the couch stretch, but here you want to maximize hip extension rather than knee flexion. And for these stretches, try to hold them for at least 1 minute. As a bonus, I will recommend you to add foam rolling before some of the stretches if you really want to speed up your flexibility gains. More concretely, you want to do at least 1 or 2 minutes of foam rolling for your wrists, especially if you had tight wrist flexors. You want to foam roll on your forearms. Also, you want to foam roll on your lats, or you do your lat stretch, on your scapula if you are doing the across the body stretch, and finally on your pecs before doing your pec stretch. And to sum it up, we have seen 5 stretches to increase the mobility on your wrists, shoulders and hips that you should do only if you have failed the tests that I have just shown you. Also, I recommend you to add these stretches before your handstand sessions, and if you can, I would add the foam rolling before to increase your results. So if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, and also to see more high quality tutorials like that, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.